All day here on CNBC, as we've been telling you, we're taking a closer look at the housing market, and what better way to get the real pulse of the housing industry than to speak to several real estate agents. And so now we go from region to region. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, we have Janice Fenister with Coldwell Banker Legacy. In Dallas, Texas, Laura Barnett from RE/MAX. In St. Louis, Craig Andrews with Westover Realty. And in Atlanta, Leslie Erickson from Prudential. Sue?
All right, Ty, thank you very much. All right, let's start out now, if we could, and taking basically a thumbnail sketch at how everything is working. We're going to go to Albuquerque first and find out how things are faring there. Janice, do you think that the market in your particular area has bottomed out?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Why?
There's just, since last year, we have definitely bottomed out, and we've seen a good improvement, just, I'd say, basically in the last 4 months. There's a lot, you can tell from open houses. A year ago, 16 months ago, you'd have 3 people come through an open house. Now you have 20, 30 people in an open house. It's hard to keep track of almost.
Laura Barnett in Dallas, is the market there getting better, and are you finding that you're either seeing deals stalled or losing them because both mortgage underwriting and appraisals are getting tougher?
Yes to all of those, yes.
Yes, and yes.
Definitely
all
consumer
right.
confidence, yes, and yes. Consumer confidence is definitely up. I've got buyers. I even have multiple offers on several of my listings. Appraisers, unfortunately, can shoot down a deal. And even though 5 buyers can say a house is worth something, an appraiser is the ultimate power that gets to shoot it down and say it's not worth it. And I think we're all pretty dismayed about that. But lenders, I think, they're still trying to get their footing. I think so many things have changed in the market as far as what their regulations and guidelines are, and they're not even for sure on what they're doing. So usually, even though we're set to close on a certain day, it can be a week or two sometimes after closing that we close.
You know, Craig Andrews, to you now in St. Louis, and I'm interested to see whether or not you think it's hit bottom, but also my sense was that you did not have the boom and bust cycle that other parts of the country had. So I'm interested to see what your feeling is about the market.
Sue, I do think that's true. St. Louis doesn't have the dramatic peaks and valleys that perhaps other parts of the country have. But I do think we've weathered the storm. The past 2 years were a little long, but now there's a lot more activity and sales. More showings for listings. Open houses are busier, so I think life is good.
Leslie Erickson in Atlanta, some of the numbers earlier this week, I believe it was Kay Schiller, pointed to Atlanta as one of the least well-performing markets in the entire U.S. Do you agree with those numbers? Are you seeing something different?
Tyler, of course I disagree with those numbers. Well, technically those numbers are accurate, but it's annualized. It's the return. If you look at the here and now, the last 6 months, year to date, Atlanta, unit sales are up, average sales price is up, multiple offers are there. It's all good. That double-digit increase, when we factor in our bottom of last year, it's to be expected.
It's all good, but you got a lot of foreclosures there, don't you, Leslie?
We have a lot of foreclosures. I'll tell you that the foreclosures, though, over the last 6 months, they've been down. The REO sales have been up. The auctions are up. That inventory is getting absorbed. Those prices are going up. It's just all up.
You know, Janice, I'd like to go back to you because you said that you are getting a number of people at open houses. Are you finding that sellers have a little bit more pricing power than they used to? And the people who are buying homes, are they buying them as to live in, or are they investors who are trying to buy investment property?
Myself, I'm finding a lot of first-time home buyers. I'm also seeing people that want to step up because we can afford more of a house for less of an interest rate right now, and it's terrific. You could get close to a 3,000 square foot home for less than $300,000 in a mature area. If your home is priced right, your home is going to sell.
Are there lenders lending? I mean, are the underwriting standards at the appropriate level that they should be so people can get loans?
I believe they are. I mean, yes, you still have to have an appropriate credit score. You're still going to get checked, probably more so than you would have been 5 years ago, which is all good. It's the way it should be. But it's just really a great time to buy, whether seller or buyer. Even if I was in the market for a house, you just can't beat it.
Laura, in Dallas, real estate obviously can almost go neighborhood by neighborhood, or income or price point by price point. Take me through the Dallas market right now, very briefly, and tell me which areas are the hottest in terms of price. Is it the high end, the middle, the first time, and which is the coldest and why?
It's different for different people. For investors, we're seeing mostly the low end. They're buying the low end and then they're turning around and they're renting them out. So, and we have foreign investors, we have local investors, we have investors in the same city. People are really buying.
Which price point is moving up the fastest? Which price point is the demand greatest?
Perhaps different realtors might tell you different areas. I usually work in a price range that I don't go to the lowest of the low areas. I will tell you everything. I'm seeing everything from 150 to 300. We can hardly keep it on the shelves. It has a very short shelf life. But as far as after that, then we have a lot of baby boomers who are downsizing. So quite a few people looking for the one stories and things like that, just to try to be more comfortable. All price points are moving, but the higher price points are not moving as fastly.
Craig, I want a final word from you, Craig. What is the hottest sector of the market for you in terms of price point?
Sue, I think it's the 150 to 350 because we've got first-time buyers purchasing and people downsizing. So we're coming at that from two directions.
All right.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.